Hello YouTube. Alright, today I went to CompUSA and purchased a new case to replace this one because I need this one for another build. There's that Pentium 4 board down there. It needs a home. So I'm moving the Core 2 Quad board into this case. And let's open this case, shall we? Scissors. Take a look what it looks like. I was going to get another Cooler Master case, but unfortunately they were out of them. There was also a Thermaltake case that looked fairly good. Now, keep in mind that I'm buying cheap cases here. I don't really need anything fancy just for, a bedside machine. So, yeah, by the way, the Dell's not my bedside computer anymore, and I'll go into that later in the video. Well, let's open this up here. There's your first view of it. Get it out and look at it. And here she is. Here's the case. It's quite a normal case. It has some glossy plastic here and here. It reminds me of a Cooler Master case I have up there. That power button doesn't feel all that nice. Now it does. It was kind of stuck before. Here's the side. It's got a stupid little window, which is frankly useless. A vent here. I guess you could mount a fan there if you wanted to, but I'm probably not going to do that. Here's the back. It comes with a fan in the rear already. It's a bottom-mounted power supply case, so basically don't put this case on the carpet when you're running it. It should be fine. PCI screws are on the outside. It's an interesting design. It seems a lot better than the design that the guys at Cooler Master had. I was looking at a Cooler Master case, and it looked very flimsy and very terrible. Their quality's gone way down since the first case I bought from them, which is this one. This is one of the toughest cases I've ever had. The only other case that's tougher than this is probably the Nlight one that has my Windows 98 hardware in it. But let's tear into this thing. Here's the inside of the case. It's kind of hard to see because it's very black. And there's the stock fan that came with it, which I'll probably leave in there. And then I'll have to stick a fan over here probably since it doesn't have a hard drive fan. There's the inside. You have one toolless thing for a DVD drive, which I'm going to need. You get a ton of hard drive bays down here. I'm only going to be using one though. That's a shame. Got a bag of goodies zip tied in here. And there you have it. Get all your front cabling here and the fan cable, which is nicely sheathed actually. Power supply goes in the bottom. The power supply has a dust filter. And that's very, very nice. So, let's put this thing together, shall we? So I'm getting ready to mount the motherboard in. And if you notice, they have little built-in standoffs in the case right here. Then they have this little thing here. If you see what I mean. Interesting design. I kind of like that. It's a good idea. So, let's put the Core 2 Quad board in there. Alright, I got the board in and everything. It sits a lot higher in the case, as you can see. My cable management is really nasty looking, but it's not going to stop airflow, so I'm not going to worry about it. And that gray power supply just looks terrible in this black case. But, it's a damn good power supply. It's lasted me 6-7 years now. About 6 years, I think. And there's the view of the back. Some things really clash, especially the blue and the red on the Netgear wireless card here. I don't know, man. I stuck a fan back there for the hard drive. And the LG drive actually looks really good in the front of this case. there are parts of this case that bother me. To put the backplate in, I had to unscrew this fan, take it out to get the backplate in and put it back in. I thought that was pretty annoying, actually. That's the only real complaint I have about this this case. It's pretty slick, actually. It has nice design touches. I thought this was going to be a pain, but it's really not. Like these screws on the outside, the PCI slots here. Everything just lines up really well. It's actually a really well-made case. I'm very surprised. This is the first Thermaltake case I've ever had. And I'm impressed with it. It's nice. It's a lot less flimsy than some of the newer Cooler Master cases that are out right now. Although it's not nearly as nice as this old Cooler Master case that's just thick metal, thick steel. Gotta love it. But yeah, this is the finished product. I guess I'll put the side on and show you what that looks like too. And here it is with that window in the side and that little vent there. And there you have it. It ain't a bad looking case. It's a cheapy case because I didn't really feel like investing a lot of money in a case, especially when I need to save it at the moment. But as far as cheap cases go, this thing was about $50. It's not bad at all. I like it. It'd be good if you just need to throw something together, like I just did here. Like I was getting rid of this. I needed a case for my Penny and 4 machine. This was the perfect case for it, so that's what's going to be used with it. So this Core 2 Quad machine is now in a nice black case, a black beauty. This is a Thermaltake V3 Black Edition, if any of you guys were looking for this case. Yeah, let's go put it where its home's going to be. Alright, and there she sits. The main reason I got this case, or I need to replace it anyway, is the fact that it has front USB. And the front USB on that old Cooler Master case, the silver one, the traces on the little board got burned up by a bad power supply. I even have a video showing it. So, yeah, it was definitely worth my while. So, one annoying thing is to get to the power supply switch. I have to reach back here on the bottom. Find that stupid switch. Where are you? There it is. Rear fan doesn't appear to be spinning. Interesting. So it has LEDs built in. I didn't know that. I might have to plug that fan into a regular fan port. Alright, let's try this again. This time with the fan plugged into the motherboard header. There we go. That's a quiet fan. Very nice. Does it work? Yes, it does. Excellent. Get a little hard drive light there. It's a red light. Blue for power. And there's the hard drive light. Does this work? Yep, DVD drive works fine. And there you have it. That blue LED fan. That's actually, if your computer's in a situation where you actually need to see your back ports, and it's like in a cubby or something, that's actually pretty handy. I have an LED fan in the back of my main computer for that very reason, so I can see. There you go. That's this cheap little Thermaltake case. It's not a bad case at all for $50. It's going to end up being $40 because I'm going to send in the rebate. And, you know, there you go. This was nothing special. It was just like my impressions of this case. It's a good case for a budget build, I'd say. Although this wasn't exactly a budget build, but either way. It's a good cheap case if you need to get a cheap case and just need to throw something together. Like I said before. I almost forgot to explain why I moved the Core 2 Quad next to my bed again. And I probably should. See, this Dell here, the Dell C521, I souped it up and everything, you know, with a pretty good graphics card and a D-Link wireless card. The wireless card is what was causing problems, and I can't put another wireless card in there. The one that I have in the Core 2 Quad machine next to my bed is a Netgear WN311B. and that is a wireless end card with a Broadcom chipset on it. And Broadcom chipsets are quite good. The Raleigh chipset on this thing, the chipset itself is actually really good. But the drivers that go along with it are terrible. At least in Windows they are. When I'd be using it, it would still be connected to the network, but it would randomly lose connection to the internet for no good reason at all. I tried switching different drivers out, and and there are only about 2 drivers available for it that I could find. And the same symptoms still persisted, so I'm going to try making this a Linux machine. Hopefully, with Linux, it will behave a lot better with the Rawlink card, since Rawlink is usually pretty well supported in Linux. So that's the explanation as why this is no longer my bedside computer. It worked really well, other than the wireless card's drivers just being crap. But yeah. So I've solved that problem with this machine, and this machine will probably be my bedside computer for a long ass time, considering it's a Core 2 quad. With 8 gigs of RAM. It's way overkill for next to my bed, but I won't have to upgrade what's next to here for a long time coming, that's for sure. I could just leave that sitting there. I could just use this as a bedside computer for the next like 5 or 6 years and it wouldn't matter. Maybe even more than that if I'm lucky. Who knows? Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and have a good one, everybody. Ciao.